What's up, family? It's Mr. Moody, a.k.a. Jeff is Moody from the Jeff is Moody Show, and you are listening to Cousin Ed's Corner.
We love listening to Cousin Ed's Corner in the UK.
Let me tell you how God will literally use your enemies as your step stool. I worked at this company for 7 years and I did everything. I did data analytics, project management, corporate training, IT. I did so much. And while I was doing everything, I was helping out a lot of people along the way. Everyone is getting the recognition. Everyone is getting the pay increase. Everyone is getting the bonuses. Meanwhile, I'm being overlooked, overshadowed, ignored, and just discredited from everything. So while I was working at my company, I was overseeing 8 states. Now, being in this position, you end up meeting a lot of great people along the way. Because my company did those partners dirty, I wanted to make sure that I still stayed connected and I did not burn a bridge. Several partners reached out to me, but one in particular was like, they wanted me to work for them and they were willing to give me more than double than what I was making at my last company. And I get to work from home. I get the freedom to do whatever I want. Literally the exact. Let me tell you how God will literally use your enemies as your step stool. I worked at this company for 7 years and I did everything. I did data analytics, project management, corporate training, IT. I did so much. And while I was doing everything, I was helping out a lot of people along the way. Everyone is getting the recognition. Everyone is getting the pay increase. Everyone is getting the bonuses. Meanwhile, I'm being overlooked, overshadowed, ignored, and just discredited from everything. So while I was working at my company, I was overseeing 8 states. Now, being in this position, you end up meeting a lot of great people along the way. Because my company did those partners dirty, I wanted to make sure that I still stayed connected and I did not burn a bridge. Several partners reached out to me, but one in particular was like, they wanted me to work for them and they were willing to give me more than double than what I was making at my last company. And I get to work from home. I get the freedom to do whatever I want. Literally the exact same thing that I was doing at my last company, I'm doing here. I do this in my sleep. Now with this company, I am overseeing 22 companies in 35 states. I am at a national conference right now, and I am seeing my last CEO, my last supervisor. They are shook. I'm also a keynote speaker. So when they thought they were getting rid of me, they had to sit in the audience and listen to me speak. Checkmate. It's too hot out here in Arizona, but I say all of this to say, continue doing what you're supposed to do and just let God deal with your battles, because the karma that he has for all those people that did you wrong is a lot harder. He hits a lot harder than what you can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Cousin Ed's Corner back at you again. No matter how you cut that slice, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Hey, it's been a long day. I wanted to come at you. I know you're probably like, what the heck is going on? That's not Cousin Ed. And I wanted to play that for you first. I was debating on speaking first or playing that first. So I wanted to play that for you first so you can get an idea of what the show is about. But before I get into that, let's go ahead and big up Mr. Moody, big up Queen Terrelyn, big up each and every one of you. Today's show is Thank God for Everything. Some people say Thank God it's Friday. We like to say Thank God for Everything. So that is today's show. And after you heard what you heard just now, I wanted to talk about it because it hit home for me. It really did hit home for me in so many ways where I have for the last 5 years, no, I say the last 3 years, I had something going very similar to what she talked about, and I was dealing with it internally, and I recently got a chance to be something like her and have an avenue to get away from it. Give me a second. I was trying to make sure I had her name and stuff and her TikTok information up. So sorry about that. The show is live. It is organic. I'm doing it on the fly. I don't write it down. I just try to make sure I have it all. But the young lady is on TikTok. Her name is Being Rick. Being Rick. Now, she may have a different way she pronounces it, says it, enunciates it, everything. It is BING_RIK. So Being Rick. Beautiful young lady. Go check her out. Check out her. Actually, I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the show notes. For those who actually read the show notes, I'll put in the show notes. You can go and click on it and check out her TikTok video that goes along with that, what you just heard. But I wanted to play that and then talk about what we all may go through some time and how we have to deal with what you may consider your enemy, what you may consider your adversary, what you may consider someone who just doesn't have your best interests at heart. And for myself, I'll speak for myself first, and I'll give my conclusions after that. But I was at a job. I did 16 years at a Fortune 100 company. I was in management for about 15 of those years. I was in management. I had a chance to travel the country and do a bunch of different things that I felt that I was pretty good at what I did. Unfortunately, the company decided to move the work to another part of the country, and I decided not to follow the work, right? So I took a year off, and I was managing a couple of properties. My father was moving down from New York, big up Brooklyn, and I was getting his house ready and still managing a couple other properties that I was acquiring. And during that time, I decided to go back to work. So I went from the private sector, which was the Fortune 100 company, to the public sector, which is a government company, right? Government organization. And the first year and a half there was great, learning the environment, got a chance to excel, not by title yet, but just by doing the things that I knew that needed to be done coming from where I came from. At the time, the management that was there was looking to promote me and put me into a new position, set up a whole new group because of what I put in place. That management ended up leaving. Their successors didn't like that I had so much control previously. So they tried to dampen the control I had, even going to the point of telling people not to contact me because I was too powerful in knowing what I do. Craziest thing ever. In 16 years prior, I never had anything like this. And I hate to say it was us. It could happen to other people, but I've worked with a plethora of other people, other races, other it had to be us, right? And I hate to say that, but it was. And I have no other record. I have no other experience of saying it was somebody else that did it to me, right? So I don't know if it was us. I mean, you have to tell me what was some of your employers' ethnicity, right? But neither here or there, right? I could say it was age also. A lot of them was older. So it could be that. I'm not going to say it's only us. I say someone was age. But the unit that left, or the leadership that left before, was older. Some were closer, but maybe a little bit older. But nevertheless, let's just fast forward. So they come in. They don't like the control I had, and everybody coming to me for certain questions. I was under one manager, and he was cool. He was good. He protected the group or whatever. And my group got moved under another manager, which was one of the people I was talking about. That manager did not care for me, did not like anything I did, no matter what I did. I mean, I stayed under the radar by doing my job the correct way, but anything that I would suggest was just wrong, was just not accepted. Anything extra that most people would get, I wouldn't get. But I'm a man of integrity. I didn't care. I came to do my job. As long as on the 1st and the 15th I got paid, all I really cared about, right? And plus I got so much stuff going on outside. I truly didn't care. Fast forward, I had I got COVID there. Not one time did anybody call and try to say, how are you doing? The only thing they called about was when you coming back, right? I took half a year off for that just due to some of the COVID things that was going on at the job, and we got sent home. Nevertheless, fast forward. Then I got hurt on the job. I was out of the office for almost a year due to an injury. Not at one point did they ever call and ask how I was doing. Not at one point did they send flowers, send a card, send a edible arrangement, anything at all to show that they are human beings, that I'm a human being, they're a human being. Outside of working at a location and you being my boss, you should still care about the person that works next to you, works alongside of you, who actually gets the job done. No matter where you work at, you should always care about the person, right? That wasn't the case. God ended up working things out. While I was out, hurt, he started working things out. You start seeing things pop up for me. I had 5 interviews and got hired for 3 jobs. 5 interviews and got hired for 3 jobs. And the 5 interviews, I didn't apply for any of them. People started calling me out the blue. I was talking to people and people started calling me, asking me, what am I doing? Are you looking for something? How you feeling? And they started asking me, hey, why don't you contact this person? They start putting me in contact with different people. I didn't go looking for any of these jobs. Got hired for 3 of them. I mean, hired on the books for 3 of them while working my other job. So don't tell anybody. But I took the jobs, and each one, after having it, another one came. So I didn't get hired all 3 at the same time. I got hired piece by piece, and during that time, another call would come, and I got hired and got a higher salary, a better position. So when it came down to me, I had to have surgery, and coming off surgery, having to decide on what did I want to do with my future, and did I want to return to that job, and just knowing the environment, I didn't want to return, right? And one of my good friends, big up AJ, you hear him on the show. Sometimes he sponsored him and Destrian, the Brethren, sponsored the show. We were on a call one night. And this is way before this happened. Before injury and everything. No, probably, I don't know, was it during the injury? But nevertheless, it was before I decided to leave, before I took interviews, before I did anything, right? He was talking about your enemies, and he said his mother told him, because he had a certain situation similar to what was going on with me, but this is his situation years before this. And his mom told him to read Psalms 35. She said, read it, write down the people's names that are actually against you, and put it in your Bible. She said, if it's bad enough, she said, when you go into the office, put their names in your shoe, so you walk on their name. So you walk on their being. God will put your enemies beneath your feet. That night when he said that, I read Psalms 35, and I went and wrote their names down and put it in the book. Not a book, put it in the Bible, right? I promise you, I visited from time to time, but I did not stay with it. But during my time of having, so that's what I'm saying, is before I got hurt. But during my time of being hurt and being undecided, I went back to it and I prayed about it. and God worked it out. I did not look for any of these jobs. God put them in front of me, and not one, not two, but three. The place I'm at now, I love the organization. I love the atmosphere. It's actually one of the vendors for my previous job. So her story resonates so much, right? So I took the job with the vendor. It's a new job, and I gave my separation notice and everything. And for some time, I didn't tell anybody at the old job that I was working at this new job. It's been almost 6 months now. Yeah, almost 6 months. I didn't tell one person. This past week, I got invited to, not this week I got invited, but the week before, but this past week was an event that I got invited to where my old job was going to be at. And I was sitting there like, should I go? Should I not go? I don't want anybody to know because, some of it is it might not be a conflict, but I just didn't want anybody to know, right? But God just kept telling me, hey, this video actually came up during that time of me thinking about it and said, go. What more can I show you is I'll put them under your foot as a stepping stool. Everything that I did for that last company is what I'm doing now for multiple companies. And like she said, my salary got increased. Everything he promised is in front of me right now. I just had to be faithful. I kept doing my job the way I was supposed to do it. I had integrity. I kept praying. I kept being a stand-up person. I kept treating everybody. When I see the management, I would respectfully always speak to them. How you doing? How's your kids? How your family? Oh, great. I did it on purpose. Sometimes you kill them with kindness. They can't ever say anything bad about me. You hear the passion in my voice behind it because I know everything I did was the way God wanted me to do it. I want y'all to look up Psalms 35. If you have any situation going on with you, it don't have to be work. It could be an ex. It could be anybody, a coach. It could be anybody that you feel is your enemy, somebody trying to hold you down. It could be a spouse. Listen, read that verse. Read the whole chapter, right? Write their name down. You may want to write on the page. You may want to put it on paper. I don't know what you want to do. You may want to rewrite the whole Psalm 35. I don't know. Whatever it takes for you to know that he can take care of it, do it. God is so good. I mean, that's why I say we thank God for everything. God is so good. When I walked in, I was there already, but when they walked in, their mouth hit the floor. Could not believe it. And you already know me. Whoever does know me. I'm 6'6", so my stature is already big. I'm looking at them, looking down, and it just, like, the room was silent. And it wasn't the room, but it was just that moment. It was only God. That's all it was. It was God. I'm not going to play my video. I'm going to be selfish in this and have you go to TikTok to find my video. I will put it in the show notes. Cousin Ed's Corner. Please support me in everything that I'm doing right now. This is all brand new to me. Podcast isn't that new, but all of the social media stuff is brand new to me. Please support me in what I'm doing. You can find me on every platform. Just put in Cousin Ed's Corner on any social media platform. Find me on there, like me, follow me. Also, if you go to cousinedscorner.com, the top of the page, you'll find a voicemail box. Leave me a voicemail. I thank everybody who already has left me a voicemail. I'm going to compile all this for one of my thank you shows, just to tell you a thank you. But I had to get this message out today. And I know it's a little longer than most of my messages, but I wanted to tell my story. She told her story. And I want y'all to understand, if you just keep your faith, keep believing, if you're in a situation that you think or you feel that others are, sometimes situation is a situation, but if you feel others are definitely trying to hold you back, it's nothing you're doing. You're not coming to work late. You're not cooking. Whatever the situation is in your life that you feel others are purposely trying to hold you back, go to Psalms 35, read that, and know that my testimony, the young lady's testimony, I bet you there's 1,000 other testimonies. If you just keep the faith and keep believing, God will work it out. It's your boy, Cousin Ed. I love each and every one of y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. Definitely check me out, like I said, on TikTok. Find that video from this week. I will definitely try to put it in the show notes. I'll put her video in the show notes. I love y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. Give all high praises to the Lord our God. Tell him thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank God for everything. It's your boy, Cousin Ed. I'm out of here. Peace. Thank you for listening to Cousin Ed's